even on your worst day.
You get to create the person you want to be.
How can you shift to make yourself happier, let alone anyone else in the room?
When you're creating the identity of who you want to be, who you're going to create, imagine how that confident woman or confident man walks in a room.
There's just lots of things to transition that thought process of pain.
Every step of the way isn't the end result. It's the person you're becoming in this process. You have to get it out. You have to deal with it. You cannot just keep burying it because it will rear its ugly head. We're creatives. I have to create. And you create for a higher purpose. Like we create experiences on screen that we had been doing to evoke an emotion, to get people to think, feel through storytelling.
Sometimes people don't figure things out to their 40s or 50s or 60s, and it's never too late to figure it out. Figure out who you are depending on your journey.
Aloha, y'all. Welcome back to another episode of Livin Táloha. Grateful to have you in the house. Grateful to be here. I am one of your hosts, Shawn Christian, and my lovely wife,
Ari Zucker. Hello.
Ariana.
Ariane. It is the best. You have
I got her name.
You have to listen to him say my name.
No.
Because he doesn't ever say my name. I mean, he called me babe or, funny, stuff like that.
I know I can't. Well, I can. It's just, I'll get it right. But
Ariana.
I can't call you Ari. It seems weird.
Yeah.
Is that just me, or like, do you call, unless you're mad?
Yeah.
And then you get the full name.
Shawnee. Well, so we call Shawnee in the house,
Yeah.
So
It's sort of a nickname.
It's cute.
We're going to cover a lot of topics as we explore, and loving the feedback. So if you like, subscribe, hit, comment. We'd love to hear what your thoughts and feelings are. You're saying now we're kind of getting a little closer together now, as we probably should, I'm thinking. But we're going to do a couple things. Of course, we'll always talk about, how we can bring our best self. How can we show up as our best self? How can we grow into our best self and live a life of passion, purpose, and presence, and just live soul inspired, right? That whole Aloha lifestyle we talk about. So we're going to talk about that, but I want to ask you a little bit about, and just kind of throw us back here for those who are just jumping on the journey of Aloha. It has been quite a journey that we started in 2020 for a very specific reason. Did we not?
We did.
There's a thing called pandemic.
We all try to forget about it. Yes. First of all, I just have to share, because I know some of you saw me smirking and laughing just a minute ago while he was talking and being so sweet and serious and all that kind of stuff. I realized this morning that he's like this science-backed. He does all this research. Not that I don't, because, we talk about things and whatnot and make sure we're at least doing the best that we can to be as informative as possible. But I realized this morning that he is the science-based researcher, and not really, obviously. And I'm the interrupter.
You saw it from the last edit?
Yes.
Oh, nice.
From the last edit again. And I was going to do it again. And then that's why I was smirking just at the top of this when he started, because I wanted to. And it's also no shoe day.
Is that well? It's no shoe day, and as you've noticed, clearly hat day,
and no makeup. I never wear makeup anymore. It's crazy. What happens when you move to Tahoe?
Oh, you look beautiful. It's fresh. I think it's wonderful, and it's good for your skin. So, if we're talking about bringing our best, you're looking your best.
Yeah.
And it's hat day, because my hair's not looking its best. It is. Those of you remember Don King? It has
pretty much
special. It has a life of its own. So today is one of those days, because I got up before, did my morning routine, right? Did the meditation, did the stretching, did the cold shower, did the prayers, the whole thing, and then got ready to go. And of course, a full life. And from the gym to here, like, let's try and get one in. And we're going to do it. And we want to share that with you. So one of the things we want to kind of bring up, some of the things, whether it be trending, cultural, or certainly as it relates to, again, how we can bring our best.
Speaking of trending, here we go, interrupting.
Oh, boy. No, you should. All right. What did you come up with? I'm not sure.
So Megan Moroney has decided to swear off men for a little bit. I don't know how long, but I was a little sad. I was like, oh.
Well, keep swearing at men.
True. I mean, obviously,
why is she swearing off men?
Well, I from what she had said in her interview was that, some of her songs kind of relate to where she is in her life. So I felt sad that she's had some experiences that maybe weren't so great for her. So she's just focusing on work. And I think that's pretty cool. But the one thing I was going to say, I mean, it's pretty cool to focus on work. She's putting her
She's in
focus
her young
into
20s,
something.
right? Or
Yeah.
mid-20s, right?
Yes. But she's putting her focus into work, which is really kind of cool. And that's what you do when you're working through pain and hurt and things like that. And I think it's awesome.
Yeah,
Look at
it is.
Taylor Swift's happy ending. So I'm really excited. But I was just going to say really quickly, like,
That's
I love
awesome.
all my skirts are from, really the idea of the skirts were from our wedding. And so every time I sat here is really why I thought of Megan Moroney, because I'm like, oh, she's going to take her time. Because I'm like, every day I'm wearing a wedding dress when I wear these. I love it.
It is. That's the inspiration. Of course, the wedding we had. And
it is. All my bridesmaids wore tulle skirts, Western theme, kind of swoon girlish. It was fun.
Pretty cool. Yeah, in a barn. But here's the thing. Everyone's going through this in their 20s. No, but we all kind of go through this. Have you had the stage where you're like, I don't know if she said, doesn't sound like you said that, but it's like, I'm never dating again. I'm not saying that from what I understand.
I've said it before in my 20s.
Well, we all have been like, I'm just not going to go through this pain again.
Yep.
But one of these things that I think that, even talk to our kids and anybody's going through a breakup is...
Yeah, that's why it took me so long to marry you.
Learn a few things. I'm never
getting married.
Not easy.
Again.
I'm not easy. No. But it is one of these things that I remind people who go through breakup, and even just coaching some people and talking to them and just random conversations as well, is like, how do I ever find love? And I just don't believe in love, which just absolutely breaks my heart, because love is such a powerful, powerful sensation. And when you have it, we know it. When you lose it, it's devastating, absolutely devastating. And I think one of the things that I remind myself and people is it is one of these experiences when you've had the breakup, or how do you find love, or maybe a divorce, whatever you've gone through, and you're just like, I don't know how I'm going to do this. But build a loving relationship with you. Start there. I found this the most helpful, because a lot of times we don't even have a healthy, loving relationship with ourselves, and then we're trying to find someone else
to fulfill it.
Right?
Yeah, it usually doesn't work. How many of you, raise your hands, have found that looking for someone else to fulfill the love you need to have for yourself has worked?
Yeah, but you know what crushes that is, no offense to the great songwriters and the movie writers. Yeah.
Okay.
But even the movie writers, like, if you think about probably the most amazing line and almost tragic line ever, you complete me.
It's the best movie line in the world.
Right. Yeah. But then I think the expectation that movies and music sort of gives us sometimes, not all of it.
Gives us hope, though.
It does give us hope. But in my opinion, I don't think you need another person to complete you. True. They can actually help elevate, and they should. They bring out the best. Like, you just hope to find
could
someone.
You imagine the line, you elevate?
That's probably got spread.
Probably.
Cameron wasn't doing that one, for sure. But it is one of those things, like, you always hope that, do I bring out the best in you? And do you bring out the best in me? Mm-hmm. Right? Now, anybody who's been in a long-term relationship is like, oh, hell no. Not all the time. I can tell you what they bring out in me. Frustration, anger, impatience, all this stuff. But when you reflect on some of that stuff, in the end, right, when you come together and you grow and you learn from these experiences, am I really trying to raise the bar on myself as a husband or as a partner, as a boyfriend or whatever? But if we don't have these healthy relationships with ourselves, I think she says this in one of the articles that I was reading, was that she's like, I just want time to understand what I like and what I don't like. Mm-hmm. Because you got clarity on that.
And that really doesn't matter how old you are, because sometimes people don't figure things out to their 40s or 50s or 60s, and it's never too late to figure it out. I mean, some people may say, I regret not figuring it out. But that's the journey that people have to, or you have to go on, whoever's listening has to go on before you can really figure out who you are, depending on your journey,
It's one of the things that I've explored, certainly in this, and people ask us these questions, or maybe you've been asked this, like, do you have any regrets in relationships?
Oh, what's your biggest regret?
Yeah, what's your biggest regret? Mm-hmm. And not always relationships, but what is your biggest regret? And also, what was your biggest embarrassment? Things like this. And I, and thinking about it, and I had to do this dance quite a bit, because I'm like, I don't really regret anything, because I've taken anything that I've either disappointed somebody else or myself, or no, a plethora of, wild, crazy decisions in my life. Not the best decisions, but I've taken a lesson from it.
Mm.
And I've tried to get better each time. So I don't regret it. I would regret it if I kept making the same mistake over and over and over. I'd be like, dude, what do you
Well,
do?
that's the pattern shift. I want to take that back, circle back that to when you were talking about why we started this business.
Yes.
Originally. And everything that you're saying is sparking the reason. Well, really, COVID was the reason we started doing what we're doing.
Oh, yeah.
And I remember, and we never really got specific about this, but I came downstairs. You were in the kitchen one day, and Izzy's doing homework in the dining room. And it's just, obviously, it's the middle of the day. She's going to school online. And we were like,
Crazy.
We've got to do something. We should be doing something positive because it's such a difficult time for everybody in life. And so that's really kind of the origins of
have to.
Early morning kitchen coffee. What do we do? And then we went to daytime cares as we were building our Aloha Sunset Sessions. So that's how we started.
We should show the trailer. We did.
I know. Yeah, we should have. We'll do it right now.
Okay, I'm going to roll this little teaser. You don't have.
Here it goes.
But it shows you the genesis of where we started with the idea of like, just do it. Aloha Sunset Sessions. I'll roll it.
Hey everyone, Ari Zucker here.
Aloha, Shawn and Christian here.
And we are looking forward to sharing an Aloha Sunset Session with you. And you might ask yourself, what's an Aloha Sunset Session? Well, Shawn, what is that?
Well, it kind of goes like this. We have an online conversation live, except we do less talking. You pick the topic, we discuss it, ultimately to bring joy, peace, happiness, love, laughter into your life, whatever you're looking for. There's 3 different sessions. We've got Beach Life for
15 minutes.
Or you can do a little Garden Bliss
for 30 minutes.
Or if you want the full Island Wana,
a whole 60 minutes.
Yes, with us where we chat live.
So to find out how easy it is to book an appointment, just go to alohasunset.sessions.com and book an appointment. And we'll see you soon.
Mahalo.
Okay, honey. First of all, I thought that animation was cute. I thought you did a good job.
Thank you.
For the time, and when you're doing something for the first time, and you're like, "Well, that was a really good idea," and then you watch it again.
As you've improved, but you do have to start. That was one of the things. And did I have all the keys to the software? Was it a little fluffy and cheesy in some degree? Looking back now, trying to do the things that we do now, of course. But I think the thing of constantly doing it, learning and growing. It goes back to the regret. No regrets. I don't know. People, you wasted your time trying to do all these things, and we did these hut talks, up on the hut that we had at that house.
Yeah.
Right. So cool. We're just starting.
Treehouse talks.
Treehouse
called it.
Yeah.
Treehouse talks.
That's how we started. We were like,
what a memory.
But it goes back to that time in COVID where people were struggling and we were like, we cannot sit still. There's no way to sit still. We're creatives. I have to create, and you create for a higher purpose. That's all I knew. Right. I would create experiences on screen that we had been doing to impart an emotion, to evoke an emotion, to get people to think, feel through storytelling.
Mm-hmm.
And when everything shut down, I'm like, how do we still do that? I don't need necessarily every major studio to tell me how I can keep inspiring people when they shut down too as well. So that was the conversation we kept having. And we're like, well, we know camera, we know filming. Let's get up there. I don't know editing, but let's go for it. We'll put it together and we'll really help people. And I hope some of this is helpful in that way as much as it is entertaining, to do the combination of both, right? To entertain, enrich, and elevate people's lives. So it was one of those things that go, let's just do the things. And of course, I got my coaching certification with Jay Shetty. So I knew that's what I needed to do, is to really help people find their passion and use it for high purpose. But doing these conversations, and we have evolved, and there's been so much filming. And we were like, let's just help somebody be resilient, because you were sharing the story the other day about, learning how to take rejection.
Yeah.
And being able to not take it personally. I think we talked a little bit about it. So it has been a heck of a journey.
Yeah. Rejection is real, and you do have to feel. I always share as I'm teaching my daughter from a woman's point of view how to get through those difficult times. And I think I've shared this before. I'm not sure if I have, but when my daughter goes through a hard time, she will watch brain surgery videos on YouTube.
Yeah.
And
True.
I'm like, you're doing what? I mean, she wants to be a doctor of some sort, right? So whether it's physical therapy all the way to brain surgery.
Yeah. Sports medicine, physical therapy.
She'll figure it out. But I just thought that was so incredible. And wow, what a cool lesson I learned from her. I thought that was so beautiful. And again, it's so difficult, but you're like, what can you do for yourself? Do you go for a walk? I don't know. I mean, do you go play volleyball? Are you a gamer? Do you play, just get on and game? And I don't know, there's just lots of things to transition that thought process of pain. And pain is just, we all know we've all been through it in various different ways. No one's pain is any more different. It's just how it's, done than anyone else's.
Yeah.
People, people hurt.
Yeah, and I'm coming full circle. Even with the Megan Moroney, it was the heartbreak that made her decide, look, I need to find a way to cope. Now, whether it's watching medical talks or we've talked, early on, just screaming at pillow, but you have to get it out. You have to deal with it. You cannot just keep burying it because it will rear its ugly head. I tried. I'm like, no, it's not putting on the rose-colored glasses as much as why don't I just focus, where my attention goes, energy flows. So you continue to go, look, I'm going to keep looking forward, but we need to heal. We need to take the time out or have a strategy, whether you like, you know what, I'm swearing off men for a while and not turning into bitterness. Right.
Right. Because there's a lot of guys too. They're like, I just don't want to date right now.
Same. Yeah. You're right.
It is not about, it's about where someone is in their life. It's not about ripping apart, a partner,
No.
And I think that's the hard thing people can just jump on a side and be like, well, men are this or women are that, instead of really understanding what's happening with the person. And it'd be really ideal if people could look into themselves when they have a feeling that when they want to react to something. And we're so big, and I'm sure there's other coaches out there, tons of coaches out there, Jay Shetty, Tony Robbins, that all say, are you a responder or are you a reactor? And the reactors, it's really, really hard on the heart and the mind.
We'll do another, we won't do this episode, but we should talk about that. Because everyone talks about a love language, and we had to learn a fight language that worked for us. Because
we never
No, it was amazing. But we did. We had to. We had to learn.
We don't now, though. Actually.
Oh my God! Because we have a language that actually, no one's retreating, no one's reacting. We're being thoughtful in our response, and it takes the reflection, time away from men, time away from women, going into some profession or learning more about what you love. I think is the overall arc of the whole thing, and why. Again, we started, so they kind of weave in together right here. The idea that, we have heartbreak, we have heartache, and at 2020, people lost purpose and meaning and having this coping skill. What am I going to do with it? So when you hear someone, certainly a superstar or whatever, I'm swearing off men, he goes, it's not such a bad thing. If you really think about the things
good
that
for her in the moment.
Absolutely, because she clearly say, I need time with me. She's going to be on tour, enjoying her life, of course. She talks about I'm going to have this beautiful time. Got a dog, animals help as well. But I think that the overall arc on this whole thing is taking the time to be self-reflective. Because when 2020 hit, I was like, I felt the rat race stopped. And I actually got to slow down. And I get people like, did you freak out? He's like, I felt I got a chance to go. Because we were, you got to chase them.
Because you couldn't. There's nothing else to do.
You're just hustling. There is
Take
nothing
a breath.
else to do.
Yeah.
So I think creating something is the overall arc of some of the things that we're going to be diving into, and people's ability to do that. And that's why we created Táloha, which was Aloha Sunset Sessions, evolved into Aloha Life Coaching. And we did talks, and we speak still, of course, but to kind of help people, groups, organizations, and certainly the younger generation. But now also it's become Taloha, and we'll get into that origin story another time, but the lifestyle of being living soul inspired and believing that you can create a life that makes you feel alive with your own unique presence, discovering your passion and using it for a purpose.
Sort of discovering who you are. And this sounds silly, but think about this, because they'll be random. And I often, it's like when you play that, like, what's that punch game in the car where you're like, slug bug. You're like, yellow slug or yellow bug.
Slug bug yellow.
Yeah, slug bug yellow. It all changes through, different generations. And then all you ever see is like a yellow Volkswagen. So same kind of thing here, where I'm going to say, even who are you and how do you walk to your car? How do you walk into a room? How do you, and it, obviously, that word is so laughable. Keep this in. Keeping this in. We're not taking this out. The thing, because I'm calling myself out on it a lot. So pardon me. And it's laughable, but it's something that I obviously want to shift. It might not bother anybody, but it bothers me. So when you walk into a room, who are you? How are you? Even on a bad day, even on your worst day, how can you shift to make yourself happier, let alone anyone else in the room? We go through things in life where coaches constantly say, who are you? And, make somebody else smile today. I'm like, well, how about make myself smile today?
It's a great start, because if you don't understand, this is one of the things in relationships, if you don't understand what makes you happy, how can you expect your partner or a loved one to actually fulfill your life and find happiness with you? Because that's what ends up happening. You're like, I don't know. But this time now, I think, to be able to reflect and go, I don't know. Am I walking in a room like this? I love your point, because certainly we build characters. We're used to, how does this person tie his shoes or her shoes, or how do they take a shower? How do they put on their clothes, or how do they walk? How do they eat? Do they leave things? I mean, you really think about the details of creating a character. So when you're creating the identity of who you want to be, who you're going to create, have that vision. Imagine how that confident woman or confident man walks in a room. Or you might know somebody that is inspiring to you. Observe them. Don't envy them, right? And then really start, it goes down to the habits.
That's a really wonderful suggestion.
Right? Because we've been doing this. We have to build a character. Certainly, if I'm a billionaire or whatever, I got to play a billionaire. I'm like, how does he wake up? What does he look about? What does he think about? Does he think about the loved one? Does he think about his wallet? Does he think about his pocketbook? Or, you get to, you said this in an earlier episode, to create the person you want to be. And it's every step of the way isn't the end result. It's the person you're becoming in this process. And I'm grateful. I'm excited, to talk to the guests. And as we hash these out, you'll see some epiphanies with us, because you'll say something and then it'll spark something for me. And hopefully we're doing that for you out there. I love this topic. This is good. I could go on another one. So we probably should.
Look how good I was. I listened right there and I didn't even interrupt. Gosh, I'm good.
But I could get to talking. So you're not wrong, babe.
But if you pay attention, how many times did I say, I actually was much better on like. I didn't say like, but how many times?
You got to make it a game?
It's going to be a game on how many times I say, And at least those count. Those count right there.
We should figure out and just give a prize. That'd be
I know.
hilarious.
We had to figure. I didn't say, I said, I know. Shoot.
You gotta add it.
This is going to be a fun game.
If you're playing the game.
Yeah.
I'll give you some final words and we'll wrap it up.
I think that I'm super excited to sit and have these conversations with you. I'm excited to see if somebody says, hey, bring up this topic, or what about this? And, I know, right? If I had a penny for every time. But pennies, they're not making pennies anymore. So we actually have to value pennies. That's a totally different topic.
I always did. Do you pick up pennies?
Well, I used to, yeah. But they're valuable.
Well, I
put stuff in a jar, all my change in a jar. You could get $300 and go to I think you can buy one Starbucks coffee with $300.
I'll tell you, you know why I always pick them up?
The totally pretty bird moment. We were going to wrap up and
Yeah.
we were like, pretty bird.
You'll be like,
Those are my final
the
words.
footage. Oh, there you go. But I pick a penny because, it's abundance, right? So there's more.
True.
And then some days I will flip it over my shoulder to give to somebody else. So I'll read it in God we trust. And it's my little message, you know. And
Yeah.
so then I'll flip it over my shoulder for someone else
To find and pick
to find and pick up. So
you know what I also love are the people in a takeout line. Usually it's In-N-Out, where the person in front buys a person in back a meal. That happened to us. Do you remember that?
Yes, that was the best.
We
Have you heard about
in
this?
West,
To explain it.
Thousand Oaks or something. So we're in the In-N-Out burger line with Izzy. Yeah. And the car in front of us bought our meal. So I think that, you can buy the car behind you too.
You pay it forward, right?
You just don't know if you're going to get a car at 20.
Imagine.
I'll pay for the
That
car.
would be hilarious. Shoot, there's a van behind me. Don't it.
Yeah.
But yeah, you get up to the window and they'll go, how much? And they'll go, oh no, the person in front of you just paid. And we paid that forward and bought the person behind us. And I don't know how long the chain went on. But it is one of those things that it just made me feel good. And when you run up,
it did. Even though you're paying anyway, it doesn't matter. But the point is people are thinking of each other. I just think that's really cool. That wasn't very long ago.
No, it was not very long ago. I'm sure people are doing it. And more people should share it. If you have that experience, or share it, or put a comment below, like, hey, somebody got to me and Taco Bell or whatever line you were in. That would be really, really cool. Because I think part of what we'll be doing here is sharing those stories like that. And it isn't just pop culture and trending in a way that's just,
topics to talk about.
Yeah, topics to talk about, but find them useful and helpful in our way. This both, like I said, entertaining.
It's fun.
As well, and a lot of fun. And look where it went. So thank you for joining us on this ride. We appreciate you dearly joining us. Subscribe, follow, like, and if you know somebody might benefit from this, share it. Share the love, man. We're all about sharing the love. So until we see each other again, go out there, create a day, a life that inspires you to feel absolutely alive. Aloha.